Okay, everyone, welcome to HackFS 2021. So we're joined with over 650 hackers from across 61 countries and 18 time zones. So let's dive into our judging format. There'll be 4 minutes for demo and 3 minutes for questions, and we'll have a 10-minute break every 6 to 8 teams. So this is the judging criteria. The judges are looking for technicality, originality, practicality, UI, UX, DX, and the wow factor. But remember, this is not a competition. People are here to learn. People are here to explore to what's possible. They're all not aiming to become businesses. And hackers are here to get valuable feedback from our judges. Speaking of judges, here are judges. Judges, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Please, Partha.
Yeah, hi, I'm Partha from Pillar. I head the technology stream there. Happy to look at various hackathon submissions today.
Hello, I'm Nicolas Antoni, principal at Lemniscap, crypto-native investment firm. Pretty active since 2017. Layer 1 scalability, privacy, DeFi, NFTs, and happy to provide any feedback today.
Thank you so much, judges, for taking your time. Now let's dive into the demos. So our first team is Team Journals. So Team Journals, you'll have 4 minutes to present and 3 minutes for Q&A, and we'll just wait for them to come up.
Welcome to the presentation of Journals, an investigative journalism platform for real-time news events for HackFS 2021. My name is Tom Plum, a full-time crypto nomad, and here's what we'll build. First, we build an integration with Tactile buckets to store images and video news events, a metadata service that enables news events, and a thumbnail service to optimize content viewability in browsers. The product works as follows. A user records a video of an incident that they are witnessing. In the background, we upload to Ipfs, thumbnails are generated, and a metadata extraction is happening. News uploads are then mapped in real time by using the metadata such as the GPS and time to create a local control center of the application of the news event. Sorry. Here's the demo. So in the overview, there's one event called Extinguishing Fire in Brussels. With the other account, we will log in because we were also witnessing the event. To speed up the time, we already uploaded the video on Ipfs, where we see here our news event context. We're fetching the context live from Ipfs. We extract the metadata. Here we use tools such as deep learning to create context to learn what the video is about. And you will see in the insights, we extract the GPS data, the date created, and we create 4 thumbnails so that the user has control over how this information is shared. We also do entity recognition on text. So for example, if we paste here prefab text, we also see that Alexander the Crow and the verbs are being added. We publish the data, and automatically we will see our event is being matched to the other existing event, and we see on the live map that the locations are there together, so that we create a unified overview. How it's made is we use Ipfs and Filecoin for content storage. Lisk blockchain technology is also used for metadata storage. and we use user management so that we can enable police and other official authorities in the future. A Node.js service extracts our metadata, and the Python service specializes in AI tooling such as PyTorch video. We also use Spacey and other kinds of cool AI tooling. For the roadmap, we will add PDF uploads in September. A very exciting partnership in November will start for AI tooling optimization to create a really good AI funnel, such as object detection, face detection, and all kinds of cool things. User moderation tooling is happening in December. And for 2022, we're deploying a mainnet partnership for journalists, and specifically we'll create a Medium-like platform for built-in fact-checking. Thank you for your attention, and
Thanks for your presentation. Now we'll be moving on to the 3 minutes of Q&A. Judges?
Partha, please.
It's fine. You go ahead, Atlas.
Okay, very, very clean. So congrats on that. That's definitely very well designed and makes you want to participate. I would like to ask you about how open it is. Is there any curation? How you categorize it? How quickly things get funneled, and how the final layout of the page is built, basically? Is it fully open, stuff like that? So how is it built? Thank you very much. We can't hear. I cannot hear you. I'm not sure if the other people can. Can you guys hear him?
I couldn't.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Sorry for that one. Thank you for the question. So in the first MVP, we actually do the live upload to IPFS. So for example, if a video is 1 minute long, we upload it to IPFS. From that point on, we analyze it. So it can take a really long time for us to really get the process going. So for the next iteration, we're starting to plan chopped up data streams to move very quickly. And let's say, for example, that a user uploads a video, we would approximately have, after 1 minute, all the information that is contained in the video. So metadata, the analysis, the context creation. And from that point on, we use the context, such as extinguishing fire was the main subject from a video. And from that point on, it becomes a topic that is matched between videos. So let's say, for example, extinguishing fire in Brussels. We find 3 videos of a fire in Brussels at that location. At that point in time, we match those and move on and gather information from users and hopefully from local partners to have official data integrated in those news events.
Cool, thank you.
One question I had was, are you also pinning these videos on IPFS or Filecoin for easier retrieval? Or how do you manage? I mean, what if the IPFS links get lost over a period of time? How do you manage to retrieve them?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So this hackathon, we focused on the IPFS integration, was a first start. And we use text-style buckets, so every account has its own private space. And we also use the archive function to have really important events archived, so that we maybe lose smaller events that people are not interested in, but really focus on big topics that people are interested in, so we can archive and really store the data for longer periods in time. But it was for the hackathon, the first iteration. So hopefully we can move on and really create custom implementations for those.
Thank you.
Great job, Team Journals. Now we'll move on to our next team, which is Team Watch. So
thank you.
team watch. Like the last team, you'll have 4 minutes to present and 3 minutes for Q&A. And please feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is the demo of Watch, developed by me, Jan Mijay. So what is Watch? It's a tool that archives your Twitter tweets and DMs on decentralized web using IPFS and Filecoin network under your decentralized identity, IDX. So why do we need Watch? Basically, centralized platforms like Twitter have following problems. They can take down your content and censor your content like your tweets and DMs anytime. Plus, if they disappear tomorrow, you lose access to all of your data. So tools like Watch makes the data that you generate online on Twitter, like your tweets and DMs, stored online forever under your control. Plus, makes them censorship and takedown resistant. Plus, I also think that such tools are first step in migration from Web 2 to Web 3 social media platforms. So demo time. So I've already authenticated myself to IDX using my Ethereum wallet. And you can see that it's asking me for my profile. So I'll just go and update my profile. Now it's asking me for Web3 storage token. So basically all my tweets are stored in Web3 storage using this token. So I'll go and get this token and paste it over here and update my profile. So you don't need to worry about storing a token like this because it is encrypted and stored under your IDX. So you can see that I've got 0 tweets archived. So I'll just go and create a new tweet such that it gets archived. So I'll just type over, hey, I am Jay, and tweet it. So I'll come over here. You can see that my tweets are syncing so that the tweet is being uploaded on Web3 storage and stored under my IDX. So what happens is that this particular Chrome extension watches for all the tweets that I create and triggers an action over here. Now you can see that my tweet has been synced such that it is stored in my IDX and the tweet data is stored on Web3 storage. And I can check it over here. So this is the tweet data stored on IPFS network using Web3 storage. So now what if I want to get my old tweets archived? Plus what if I want to get my DMs archived? For this, first you need to request your information from Twitter. So you'll get a bunch of files which will contain these files, direct messages and tweet. And then you can upload these files to the web page to archive them. So I've already requested my information. So let's just archive my old tweets. I'll select the tweet file. I've got all my tweets and open it. Now my old tweets have been synced. That means that they are uploaded to Web3 storage and stored under my IDX. So it will take a while because I've got a bunch of tweets. And there you go. It's take a while. There you go. I've got all my old tweets archived. Now you can see that I've got none of my DMs archived. So let's just go and archive them. I'll select direct messages.json. I've got all my DMs over here. And now they're syncing. So it'll take a while. We've got a bunch of messages. And so basically these messages are first encrypted and stored under my IDX. And you can see all my DMs archived. So that's it. This is for the demo. And this is Watch that helps you archive your tweets and your DMs on decentralized web. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. A quick question on how you see this evolving in two main things. So do you see it as a standalone or a feature maybe of Twitter, or what is on your view the best way to get adoption, and what's your plan to get traction to go out in the world and get it used? Where do you think it should be placed in order for people to use it, which is extremely useful tool?
Yeah, so I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay. So basically, so the main inspiration for this particular tool was because this particular tool was because of a lot of things that we come across today because of censorship regulations being passed around the world. right? So the main adoption that I see over here, that I will be launching this tool on Twitter basically, because Twitter is one of the main medias where people are censored the most. So my first step would be to launch it for Twitter users as a Chrome extension.
Okay, makes sense.
So they can just simply install the Chrome extension, and the moment they tweet, their tweet should be synced. And after that, I will be looking forward to mobile apps, Twitter version mobile app, and then other medias. But one thing to note over here is that the IDX, I was trying to integrate Chrome extension with IDX. There are some issues. It still lacks a bit, but I've spoken to the team about it, and they have given me a certain methods to actually resolve it. So yeah, that's how I actually think of it as going ahead.
Makes sense. Thank you.
What was the most challenging part of this hack? Which one did you really enjoy doing?
So basically, it's really hard for any Chrome extension to read Web3 data on the Chrome window. And there are certain restrictions that Google has imposed in terms of reading because of security reasons. So getting around that was the hardest part. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Otherwise, other than that, yeah, I think that was the hardest part. Otherwise, I think the other APIs are really well off, so I didn't face any issues with them.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Great work, Team Watch. Let's move on to our next team, Filecoin Payment Bridge.
How do I?
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can. Hello, Charles.
Yep.
So you'll have 4 minutes to present and 3 minutes for Q&A like the last team, and you'll see a reminder in the corner in the chat.
So, okay. Yeah.
We're bringing the Filecoin payment bridge to the 30-year HackFS. HackFS and Filecoin is the most used decentralized solution by NFT, scientific data, and other domains. However, we still don't have a good way to make a payment from other blockchain to use Filecoin. We have 5 team members to develop this project to solve the issue. This is system architecture. First, we have a controller who allow user to make upload the file to the IPFS network and get CID, make a deposit with a target storage provider address on smart contract. After that, the scanner will scan the IPFS network and back out the Filecoin network. As long as the fragmentary storage is online and available, we are using the chaining to ask the smart contract release fund to the user. The steps is like this. User upload file to IPFS, is getting the CID and the select storage provider. User deposit the fund with the cloud and the storage fee. Then waiting for the file backup to the network. The chaining is the DAO to allow storage update status and prove it online. This is the process of how to upload file. First, we give a task name and upload the storage file. Then we make a image and do upload. We get the payload CID for using in the future for using. Here is a link. Then on this side, we are edit the lock fund to put the CID there, make a payment. You can see the address will be deposited to the smart contract. This is a Polygon network. You can see we have the transaction made with 0.05 matic. After that, if we go to the detail, we can show the template. This is the scanner, which can show you how it deposit with the transaction hashing and the information is on chain. Then we know that the deposit has made, we send the DL to the back network. You can see here is a HelloCID with a smart contract address, and the deal is sent to the with the ID. And this is the Oracle link. Oracle we update the Oracle, sign the signature, and the Oracle will give the proof of the online. Then we make a request for unlock fund here, and get the unlock transaction ID. If you go to the Polygon network and check the transactions, you will see that there are two transactions made from the contract release funds. One transaction is for send to the storage receiver. Another one is plug return to the client. Basically, this is what has been done as a workflow. We still have next step want to do is build the technical DAO, UI improvement, metadata integration, and the load testing for more work. BSC and ETH Ethereum blockchain integration will be part of the future plan. Yeah, so this is about work, and thanks to everybody. If you have any interest, please contact us at team@fast1.com. Thank you.
Yep, that's pretty much about demo.
Oh, okay, Charles, please share. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you for your presentation. Let's move on to the 3 minutes of Q&A.
Okay, yeah, quick one, Charles. Like, can you expand a little bit on the low-hanging fruit use cases that you believe they will gain initial traction for a product like that? Like, what are the 2-3 use cases that you build this for?
Yeah, for example, on the Polygon or Ethereum, there are lots of NFT storage. Currently, they use this, we already have some cool product like a Web3 storage or something like promise people using it for free. But actually, in long term, people still need to pay for the usage of the Filecoin storage. So when they need to pay that, they probably will use the Ethereum or Matic or any other cryptocurrency for make a payment. Then they need to know that after the payment, that storage is truly stored on Filecoin network. So we need the Oracle to present them. This is the proof you pay for that with other currencies.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I basically just had a suggestion. You could probably take a look at a library called Ipfs, which lets you interact with multiple chains and provide you with a payment interface as well.
Okay.
So right now you are trying to do it through the console. If you were to use a library like that, you could listen to events of transaction completion, and you could automatically switch across networks. That might probably help you to build this product further.
Great, we'll do that later. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great work. So we'll move on to our next team, which is Team Art Mythology. We'll wait until they get promoted to begin. Welcome, Team Art Mythology.
Everyone? Yes.
You have 4 minutes for presentations and 3 minutes for Q&A. You can begin whenever you're ready.
I think we're ready. Just check the microphone, everyone. Perfect.
Yes. Hello, my name is Ignacio and we are Arthology. So we can all agree that NFT are now a buzzword, but not everyone has access to it. Like, you have to be very tech savvy to be in connection with the NFT. Then the art galleries and the museums are struggling. They are late adopters of technology, and due to pandemic, they had a recession of 22% last year. We've been talking, we did a lot of market validation, and we spoke with art galleries, museums, and they all agree that there's an opportunity with NFT, but they don't know how to do it. They don't have the expertise to work. They don't know how they don't have the know-how of working with NFT. So what we are planning to do is we want to build a solution to support the intersection between the traditional artwork and the NFTs. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect NFT artists with art galleries, curators, and art collectors. How we are going to do it? We're going to support the full cycle from minting to showcasing to the selling and purchasing. So we are going to give tools to art galleries to source NFT artists, create their own marketplaces, and even go even further and create their own virtual reality exhibitions. So now we are going to show you a demo of our platform.
And I would also like you to welcome from my side and showcase how the solution is working. So here is a developed platform where all artists and galleries join to explore the NFT. So I will log in right now as an artist. And first of all, I have a full control of all the art I am exposing in this website, at the same time having the full control of the minting and exhibiting it. For example, I can simply add a new artwork and provide all the details which are relevant for minting, as well as pricing solution. Or what I can do instead, I can also, once uploaded, also have the minting process fully integrated into the platform. Whenever I click on one of the arts which I uploaded, I can do the minting, connect it to my wallet on the MetaMask. You see all the gas fees being confirmed, and then I can explore the file which was just minted and see that it's actually happening on the once. It takes a little bit of time to get the contract, but yeah. So here we have all the information. We see that the transaction is actually successful. I also can see then the poster being loaded and added to my NFT profile on my phone. And what it gives me as an opportunity, then I can promote my art, which is just freshly minted, to all the galleries which are also available on our platform. It gives us an opportunity to provide the galleries opportunity to promote themselves, promote the art, and exhibit the NFT art which they previously don't have access to. All the art is being stored on Ipfs through NFT storage, and you can showcase it even here under your user or gallery profiles. What we give more, you can exhibit also it not only just on a page as any regular solution right now allows you to, but also in 3D space, and that's the most exciting part. When you click on 3D, I will showcase it in an additional tab. You can actually create your own gallery with the art being exhibited and showcased as you prefer, which is providing you a full-scale solution where you can not only design the art, but you also can design the gallery and bring the art to the actual people, to the actual lovers of the art to enjoy and potentially explore and buy the art. You can do the same thing not only in browser, but also in VR glasses. And basically, that's how we bridge the NFT world to the world of market and to the traditional art. We also provide the opportunity to mint the art gallery or provide different art galleries showcasing different solutions, which explores the opportunity for art galleries to be showcasing the NFT as much as possible. Thank you. We are Artology.
Good one. Congrats. It seems very clean and neat. Couple of things, and just to understand the direction. What is your audience? And as a go-to-market strategies, are you building a curation more than a marketplace? So what's the direction you want to take? And on galleries, are you planning to have a sort of like broadcasting tool as well, so that you want to provide some renting economics that we see in quite a few projects lately, exactly on the vertical you're working. So a little bit of audience and go to market and how you want to build that marketplace. Thank you very much.
Ignacio, will you?
Yeah. So I think we're not planning to be a marketplace. We don't want to be an OpenSea. We are more like a B2B company. We want to support our galleries mainly because they will do the heavy lifting of selling the NFT. They have their art collector, they have their customers. So we want to provide tools for them to explore the NFT. So what we imagine in the future is we are talking currently. So this is something that we are still polishing, but we would like to offer, for example, the possibility of an art gallery to have their own NFT marketplace embedded in their website, not in our website, so in their website. Then we want to provide them with tools to recreate the gallery in a virtual reality environment. And we want to support the full cycle from the minting to the selling, because we know that our collectors are not tech savvy, so they don't have a wallet. They have money, but they don't have a wallet. So what we want to do is create a bridge between the traditional artwork and the NFT. So how we imagine this is like, we allowed art galleries to screen, to source NFT artists, so they can establish communication and then can define how they are going to work together, and they do everything in our platform. So our audience will be NFT digital artists, art galleries / curators, and indirectly the art collectors, that they are the ones who buys the NFT. But we want to boost the NFT selling. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have two questions. Basically, I'm interested to know what was your tech stack which you used to, create your art gallery, the VR thing as an NFT. And the second one is, how do you plan to tackle the very high gas costs on Ethereum mainnet, given that you're using Ropsten? Have you considered other side chains for deployment of these NFTs?
Maybe for the VR part, I would be happy to answer. First of all, we are using Free.js to visualize and explore the potential of VR. So everything is handled by the Free.js stack. And maybe Diogo, you would be happy to explore as what are the tech solutions we were exploring. And of course, we were considering the high gas fees. So we were also looking at different coin systems in order to reduce the costs and support all art galleries not to be dependent on the prices of a particular coin. Diogo, maybe you can...
Yeah, just one small comment. Like gas fees, while they are high, like an average ticket in the traditional artwork is $10,000, between $10,000 and $50,000. So like the high gas fee is like irrelevant for an art collector who pays $20,000. So
no, I'm not referring to the actual purchase of the art of the NFT. I'm referring to minting of the NFT. That's where it's very expensive. So
okay. Sorry.
With the minting, we were planning two solutions of either lazy minting, where the final art collector is actually paying also for the gas fee, or this would be carried by the galleries who are interested in exhibiting the art. So this is where we also want to implement the in-baked royalties for the art collection. And yes, galleries support to mint something, but then they get the royalties if it's being resold further on.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your presentation. Great job. Judges, we're going to be moving on to our next team, which is Team Memeverse. And this is our 5th team. So would you guys like to take a break after they present, or would you like to continue?
I'm fine either way.
Okay.
Same here.
So Team Memeverse, you guys can start whenever you're ready.
Hi. Can you see my screen? I'm not.
Yep.
Yes.
It's showing Memeverse, right, on the screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. This is Memeverse, a platform for quality memes and connections between creators and fans. For creators, this platform provides a way to mint their memes as NFT, and it gives them a proof of ownership or proof of first. They also give them a chance to connect to the fans. And in case their memes go viral over social media, anyone can attribute that meme to the creator, giving them publicity and visibility. For meme lovers, they come, search, and buy the memes through ETH. This ETH directly goes to the creator. And once they purchase their NFTs, it gives them access to the exclusive content. For example, creators can live stream them through live peer, and only the buyers who have bought their memes will have access to it. They just have to choose an image, enter a name, description, some hashtags. This is just to easily identify the meme. And a price in Ether. The image is uploaded to Ipfs through nft.storage, and then a ERC721 NFT will be minted. Sequence is maintained. and anyone can browse the entities. This page. This is the one I just minted, and these were previously minted by me. Each meme shows the title, the description, the creator, and the owner. Since nobody has bought it yet, the owner is empty. Now I want to showcase how do I get exclusive access to the creator. So this is the community page. Notice that I have changed my address so that I can get access to this creator. I copy this address, enter here, and click enter login. Since I have not bought any of their NFTs, it doesn't let me enter it. So first, I need to buy any of their NFTs. So let me search for some meme that I want to buy. Here it searches for any of the keywords and showcases all the relevant results. I buy it. And the value of the transaction is 0.001 Ether, which was the price of the meme. And here, since I have bought this meme, now I am the owner of this NFT. And I can no longer buy this since I cannot buy my own meme. This search functionality is backed by Elasticsearch, where I store all the documents that have been minted, and the metadata is stored in Elasticsearch, posted locally right now. Since I've bought the NFT now, I'll be able to enter this lobby. I enter the creator's address and enter lobby. The creator has not started a live stream, that's why it's inactive. I'll go to OBS to start a live stream. We'll start streaming. And through live here, it should appear here. And here it is. Yeah, so that was the project. Basically a platform for anyone to come and mint their memes and anyone to buy them, which also gets them access to the content creators live stream.
Great job. Let's move on to our 3 minutes of Q&A, judges.
Well, I see it being something, you know, fun for creators, fun for communities. So since we actually invested quite a bit on the creator economies and the social tokens, so to speak. So have you considered partnering with some tooling for social tokens or for gated communities, and what is your plan to easy your way in to many communities, right, and get traction on communities?
Yeah, I think I've not thought about tokenizing like on the aspect of tokenization, but for expanding to market and bringing traffic to this website, I've thought about, first of all, making this like a Jiffy-like website, where like through Jiffy, you can post your GIFs on social media, right? So I think if we can provide an API, if let's say a lot of memes are quality memes are there, we can provide an API for social websites where anyone can pull these memes and use these memes on their posts for free, because a value of memes only comes when it goes viral, right? And then based on which creators go popular through these memes, we can then probably promote them on the page and create a community for them specifically. And then I think tokenization might come after that, when a specific creator goes popular through the platform. So if let's say their community becomes more valuable and people want to participate in the community, probably then I think tokenization might come into picture. I mean, that's my thought, but I didn't really consider tokenization till now.
Yeah, you know, I mean more. This is a tool that, in my view, or the way I see it, as a first time, is something that would be nice to be placed in a place where, in a platform where community gathers, right? There could be many communities, many different. So you want to be right there where community gathers for a variety of reasons, and you're there available so that everybody can create your meme and adopt it as a meme of the community, for example, right?
Yeah.
So that was the idea. Anyway, good job.
Yeah. Thank you. And for the community aspect, like for this hackathon, I demonstrated a live stream, but I think this aspect can expand a bit more. Like we can have a Patreon-like platform, which is backed by NFTs, where each tier of subscription is an NFT, and people who have spent a certain amount will get different levels of access to the creator. So let's say I've spent $10,000, I'll get the highest level of access. Then if I've spent only $1,000, I'll probably get only a live stream. So this kind of different level of access.
Perfect.
Have you thought of fractionalizing these memes? Memes, as you said, would need to go viral. So, I mean, if you were, have you considered fractionalizing them and then creating a marketplace for them?
Yeah, I think so. This might come as a second version, where I think the first version I would like to, as I said, I would like to have just an API for social media websites where anyone can pull in these memes. That's where the search functionality can come in handy that I demoed, where like printers can just enter some keywords and that's make the meme searchable. And then after that, in the second stage, we can consider tokenizing those NFTs, and anyone that pulls in that NFT in the social media post can become a fractional owner by paying a small micro transaction. Or if a meme becomes costly, like let's say it's selling for $1,000, then probably tokenizing them. So those sort of strategies. Yeah.
Judges, do you have any more questions?
No, that's it.
Okay, great work, Team Memeverse. So we're going to begin our 10-minute break. So we will come back out in 10 minutes at 1:35 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. No, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that our break has ended. We'll wait for the judges to return, and then we'll begin with Team Fragment.
What up?
Welcome back, judges. Team Fragment, are you here? You guys can start whenever you're ready. You'll have 4 minutes of presentations and 3 minutes for Q&A. And feel free to start.
Yep, sure. Thank you. I'll share my screen now. So, is it all right? Can you see it?
Yep.
Perfect.
Start.
Hi everyone, my name is Thomas from the Fragment team, and I'm here today to do the demo of the data pipeline platform that we've built during the HackFS hackathon with Philip. So we first impersonate a user, which we call Alice, by creating a new dataset on the platform because we want that dataset to have a transparent history that is publicly published on Ipfs. So once that dataset is imported, I will also be able to import a new transformation to manipulate that dataset. It has to be noted that each transformation that can be used on our platform are actually Fluence module. So what does that mean? It means that all transformation that will be executed on the Fluence testnet. So on the dataset details, I'll be able also to check that it has been properly uploaded to HackFS. I will now run the transformation I uploaded, and you'll see once the transformation is run, I added a new element to the history here, and that the dataset has been updated. Now that Alice has done that, she might want to share that with a collaborator. Let's call him Bob. So Bob arrives on the data details page, and now he'll think, maybe I want to check that the transformation is real. So for that, we have planned the IPLD schema. IPLD schema will allow Bob to go on an IPLD Explorer and just check that the input data, the transformation data, and the output data are all the ones that are claimed by Alice. Let's see here for the output data. Check on Ipfs gateway, and you'll see that here it's the proper data. You'll be also able to run a transformation just to, collaborate with Alice, which is the whole point. I will now pass the baton to Philip to explain more in depth why we've done that.
So after this brief presentation, let's dive in and see why Fragment may be important. First, we initially wondered why decentralized networks weren't that much used in collaboration for data science. We think that technologies like linked data is still underused in needed schema-less context. Then we have to acknowledge that platforms like Kogel already are quite powerful, but they're closed and centralized systems. But finally, we thought that maybe the whole system is missing a formal definition of data processing pipelines, and so that's what we focused on. So we tried to consider data transformation pipelines in their simplest form, and that is putting raw data at the base of the architecture and stacking up atomic transformations after atomic transformations. And that's a representation that works pretty well with IPLD. The two main components of our architecture are Ipfs and the Fluence network. Datasets and transformation bytecodes are stored on Ipfs, obviously. The Fluence network can identify these elements with their CID. It can run transformations on top of datasets and push the result back to Ipfs, linking it with IPLD to previous states of the dataset. That's mainly it for what we can consider the backend. And on top of it, we try to build some more collaborative features that leverage ceramics and IDX. In the end, we think that this new framework can be quite important for a few reasons. It's free from any cloud platform. It allows data science traceability free from closed platforms. It may really represent a plausible solution to problems of inconsistency in open data. Here are some useful links, and we really want to thank all organizers, sponsors, and hackers, and let's keep building. Thanks.
Thank you. I'll start quick one. So it's my understanding correct that you guys would like to have it fully open, so that those data set can be freely available for scientists and collaborators to interact, or you have the problem to basically have a sample of them so that you can see how good is the data set compared to what you claim it is. So just to understand as a use case, which audience are you trying to attract?
Yep. So the goal with what we've tried to build is to effectively share data sets between researchers, data scientists, or people like that, and also share and be more transparent on what has been put as transformations on top of that data set. We figured out that as of now, we have a trouble in data science that when we use data for in the pipeline, either to extract, transform, and load, or extract, load, and then transform to use the data, we don't have enough transparency, and that's what we tried to crack with this application.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Which was the most challenging part of the hack, and which one did you find more interesting?
So from our point of view, I think that the hardest part of the hack was to integrate Fluence inside of a front end and then upload dynamically new services and give them datasets to run, because we've never used Fluence before, and there is quite a few technical points that are quite advanced, I would say, as new languages, for example, the air languages, or other new notion about integration of the SDK. So that's what I think we spend the most time on during this hack.
Thank you.
Judges, is that all?
Yep.
Just to add a bit more. Sorry, yeah, go on. I just would like to add on the last question that a bit of time also was taken on the transformation, atomic transformation design that we presented, that is published on IPLD, just to make sure that it was working and actually efficient for what we were doing.
Since we have a few seconds left, I mean, it's very noble, obviously. When I see those early stage ideas and visions, I always try to see how hard will be to reach your audience, right? Reach the people that are actually interested about this, and how you really, it's a very network effects depending platforms, in my opinion, right? It all makes sense if a lot of data scientists and a lot of people put the fragments together, right? So fragment really makes a lot of sense, but you need a lot of fragments to build a bigger picture. So really the go-to-market, in a sense, like attract your audience and find it, and make them make sure that they know you exist. It's the hardest challenge, or one of the hardest challenge I could see to work on early. But congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your judging and your time also.
Yeah. If I have time to answer that, it is very true. And the fact that we integrate nicely with some technologies like the WebAssembly runtime that Fluence uses may help us, in fact, integrate existing libraries written in either TypeScript, JavaScript, or Python, and that could run into this WASM runtime. So we're quite, with this kind of technologies, this network effect could work based on the integration of existing libraries. So yeah, there's a challenge in reaching the audience, but still there's no technological gap that would not be able to be filled, I think.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Team Fragment. Let's move on to our next team, which is Fen Sen de Meijing. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but please feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. Our team created decentralized Mahjong. Let's put that into two parts, and let's start with the Mahjong. Mahjong is a tile-based game originating in China and often played in East Asia. The basic rules are to draw a tile into your hand and discard a tile every turn. If a discarded tile matches your tiles in a certain pattern, as shown here, the player can call Chow, Peng, or Kong, respectively, to expose their tiles. At the end, after some winning preconditions, a combination of certain sequences of tiles in their hand and exposed tiles adds up to a certain amount of points. We built Mahjong, but all player-to-player communication is P2P. The only dedicated servers we're using are to establish WebRTC connections between players. So let's go on to a demo. First, we log into the application. We use 3ID Connect and IDX for identity management and authentication. Our 3ID DID corresponds to our Ethereum MetaMask wallets that send messages to derive an encryption key for 3ID Connect. If a user doesn't have an associated basic profile on IDX, they can fill it out through our UI. In my case, I already have a profile created, so we can start the game. In order to do that, we create a table, and that will produce a join key that we can use to join the table. So I'll wait for everyone to join. So now a third player has joined, and now the fourth player should have joined. So now what's happening is we're waiting for the P2P connections to be established. All metadata about how to connect to each player is stored in ThreadDB, a secure, decentralized P2P database made by Textile. After all players are connected, the game's finite state machine starts on each player's own browsers. All game state transitions and states for each player are stored in Web3 storage in Ipfs. You can show that by going to the logs and clicking here. And this should correspond to an Ipfs log. As shown here. So here's a summary of what we went through in the demo. Note that we weren't able to complete betting on our own Mahjong game in time, but it's on our future roadmap to complete. In the future, we would like to improve the feedback on the UI and make it responsive to different screen sizes. On the topic of cheating, we would like to detect bots using machine learning. In order to prevent hacking, we will use a special shuffling algorithm so that every player can ensure tiles are shuffled properly at the start of the game. Shamir's secret sharing will be used to encrypt each card in the deck so that all players must agree that any given player can see any given card. We also need to handle certain edge cases like players losing connection. For betting, after we implement it, we are thinking of using layer 2 scaling to reduce gas fees and eventually support more than just Ethereum for betting. Thank you. You can find the live demo at the link below.
Great job. Let's move on to our Q&A with the judges. You have 3 minutes.
Oh, well, thank you. It's pretty straightforward, so not a major question as such. I have a curiosity. So we have seen some decentralized games and casinos on the metaverses. Are you thinking to integrate, maybe it would be fun to have it inside a metaverse or in partnership on another platform, instead it be something fully standalone, right? That would be harder to attract users and gain traction. Have you thought about be somewhere or partner with somebody and how easy it would be to integrate?
Yeah, I haven't actually thought of the whole process of integrating with other metaverses, but I've definitely thought that it would be a good idea to integrate with one. In addition, we might put heavier investment into community building later on. First, we want to build a platform so that it's ready for the general public. Right now, it's kind of okay so that kind of friends can use it, because cheating is definitely something that can happen in the current implementation.
Understood. Thank you.
Sorry if you had already mentioned this, but I couldn't catch what your tech stack was. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. So we were using IDX and 3ID Connect for identity management and authentication. We used ThreadDB on Textile to establish signaling metadata when trying to establish connections between peers. And we used Web3 storage to store all our game logs.
Okay. Thank you.
Great job. Any more questions, judges?
No, nothing for me.
Look good. I mean, I'm usually based in Hong Kong, so I see so many people playing the game, and they love it. So it's a big market, obviously. It's a little bit on the older generations. You see a lot of gray hair playing the game, but it's very, very popular. So there's definitely a market.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to our next team, P2P Game. We'll wait until they get promoted. And they'll have 4 minutes to present and 3 minutes for Q&A like the last team, and they can start whenever they're ready.
The game I will have used for this project is Tic-Tac-Toe. So the project is uploaded on HackFS using Flip. So let's assume that on my left, the browser is Peer 1, and on my right, it's Peer 2. So with Peer 1, I'm gonna start the game. It's gonna generate a peer ID for the peer, which I'm gonna send to the peer 2, who's gonna join the game. So that's peer ID, and peer 2 gonna send his peer ID to peer 1, and we will connect. After that, by default for now, peer 1 or where the peer that starts the game is peer X. So let's for peer 1 next the first move. If I try to take again, no, I cannot. Peer 2. Make move, so let's make so whenever a peer wins or the game's draw, the game data is uploaded to web3.storage. We can see here by clicking it. Since the data is uploaded to Web3 storage, is the game data that contains all steps of the game that took place. The data will always give a same CID for the player 1 and for the player 2. Or we can say the peers, as we can say both of the CIDs are same, and we can see what's in that data. It contains basically all the steps from initial step to the till the step the game ended. Now the player also have the option to play a game. So let's play a game, and we can just start the game. And wait, since one of the player has won, we'll upload the game to web3.storage.
Great job. Let's move on to our 3 minutes of Q&A. Judges, you can.
Okay, Banu. Well, thank you very much. Quick one. This is the first step, I guess. What is your bigger vision? So this is pretty straightforward, simple for the game, but what I am sure you are thinking bigger, right? There is something bigger that you would like to see or to happen. So what is your really end goal vision, and why you build this specific product, for what, and how do you get there? What needs to happen for you to realize your vision?
My vision is basically like, if there are two players and they want to somehow have this, like they have a bet, for say they have a bet, like they have each NFT and they want to choose a winner. So like they bet whoever the winners take the NFT. So they can bet the NFT in a smart contract before the game. And if there is a winner, the contract, the NFT goes to the winner, or else if there is some problem in the game, connection loses or something else, then the game is catch, and basically the NFTs is going back to the provider. And the main idea is basically is there's no central player playing any role, and that each pair has their own data that will be storing. And so when one peer is sending their steps one each at a time, it's added to this one, peer one and peer two. And when at the end of the game, the peers data can be uploaded to IPFS. And since both their data is same, and it will also added the PR ID, because each of the starting of the game, new PR ID will be generated, unique PR ID will be generated. So at the end of the game, both that data will be uploaded to IPFS, and since it will be same, and if they matches both the data, so then the contract will be initiated, and it can say that it can try to eliminate the cheating by any of the peers inserting changing the history of the game. Yeah. And then upload that all that into an NFT that the winner or the loser both can have as a reference in the future.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So which part did you find interesting? What did you learn out of this hack?
Yeah, lib P2P, deploying the lib P2P for the protocol, it was really difficult, and finding documentations and so limited documentations is sort of, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Judges, do you have any more questions?
All good for me. Good luck, and follow the bigger vision, obviously, right?
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next team, Storage Monkey. So we'll wait for them to get promoted and we'll begin.
Hey, how's it going?
All good, thank you.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello, welcome.
All right, let's get the screen share going. Just one moment. Okay, can you guys see the screen okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
This is the Storage Monkey protocol. Storage Monkey allows users to define aliases for addresses in dApps in a secure and decentralized way. Users interact with many addresses. Using this alias manager, they can add an address, then assign it a unique alias similar to a phone's contacts. These aliases may contain personal or private information, so the aliases must be encrypted before storing them. Once they're published to IPFS, the encrypted aliases can be accessed by their unique CID. The Storage Monkey smart contract stores the CID, allowing any dApp to fetch the encrypted aliases when the user visits their site. So here we'll authorize the encryption and then call the smart contract to map the CID to the address. And this interaction should update the UI, showing that it has been saved.
And cue the wait time. It's just a second or two left here.
And there it is. The new alias has been updated, and anytime we visit this app or any other dApp that uses the Storage Monkey SDK, we'll be able to access the My Best Friend alias that's mapped to the address.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just explain a little bit on the high level what this is. So Storage Monkey was something which was built out of frustration with existing dApps. So you can use many dApps, for example, like the Superfluid dashboard we have in front of us. And as you will see, you have sort of addresses, which are your contacts, which you're, in this case, sending money to. Now, this sort of application, Superfluid dashboard, allows you to assign nicknames to addresses, because seeing the long hexadecimal strings are pretty ugly and they don't really communicate a lot who you're communicating with. So Previously, you'd be able to set these nicknames. However, it was only stored in local storage. Now, this is bad because, first of all, if you clear your browser, you lose all of your nicknames. And also, they do not share across applications. For example, I set a nickname on my Superfluid dashboard. I also want, let's say, my MetaMask to update that. So this is kind of what StorageMonkey is. StorageMonkey is a smart contract and an SDK. So the SDK is for dApp developers to integrate into their application, so they can quickly sort of fetch the data which maps addresses to nicknames. And yeah, we store everything encrypted on chain, so there's no concern that you will ever leak any information about your nicknames. And yeah, we're quite excited about this. For the first step of just mapping addresses to nicknames is quite powerful. It's like we've seen this in ENS, but in ENS, doing this kind of updating nicknames costs a lot of storage. However, with this, we have sort of, you can view these nicknames for free, and you can also update them for free through IPNS, which we'll be using. And yeah, in the future, you can do you can basically store any configuration file and create any sort of standard that can be used across dApps and shared. And yeah.
And I think like the big, like the big concept that we're going for here is when somebody uses our SDK, let's say you build some new dApp and you're going to see these addresses a lot in your UI. Using this SDK is going to allow you to swap that address for the nickname the person's assigned on the fly.
Exactly. And yeah, that's kind of it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Sure. So thank you for that. I'll start with one. What is the very intuitive audience and use cases that you see, like the people that are actually needing now and that would love to integrate with you? Because I think that's sort of keys for this sort of products, right? You don't want to be standalone. You need to be where the users are and where your audience are. So what are a couple of platforms and use cases that would pick you up like that?
So this product was actually born out of the Superfluid community. So the community was asking for this. However, the Superfluid team actually didn't know how to build this. They were struggling to encrypt the information and store it on IPFS in a decentralized way. We came up with a way to do this. So that's one protocol, which is a clear, they were asking for this, and I think they're quite excited about this. Also clear use cases are MetaMask. For example, you assign you have many different accounts in your MetaMask, you can assign different nicknames. However, if you move your MetaMask into a different browser, or you sort of have to refresh the seed phrase somehow, you lose all those nicknames, and that can be quite annoying for people. So yeah, Superfluid, MetaMask, sort of anything which involves a UI with addresses and where people want to have sort of quick access. Yeah, I think it's quite broad.
Yep, and the idea behind the SDK is to abstract a lot of this away. So if you're a developer and you're building this application, it's as simple as when you enter the app, you need to trigger a function that fetches and decrypts those aliases for you. And then essentially anywhere that you would put an address, right? Maybe you have a little list of addresses, then you just have a simple function that says, hey, if this address is mapped to an alias, let's just replace that on the fly.
So what kind of encryption you use to encrypt the data right now?
So right now it's
go on.
So right now it's asymmetric encryption. We use the public key associated with the wallet in MetaMask, and so basically, like to keep it as simple as possible without having to make any new extensions or anything like that, MetaMask lets you encrypt data with the public key, and then later on you can actually pass that encrypted data back to MetaMask. They decrypt it internally, so we don't have to expose those private keys, and then the decrypted aliases come back to the web app.
So you're encrypting the actual contents of the file that you're storing on IPFS. Is that what you're saying? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So all those aliases, it all gets stuck down in one string. That string gets encrypted, and then that encrypted string is stored on IPFS.
Yeah. And that's very important because you don't want people doxing their nicknames. So yeah, that was very important.
I don't know if you have a second left, but what would be I mean, not a business around it, but like, have you thought about some economics? Have you thought about some value created? Who might want to pay for this? I know it's not the first things you ask, and actually you didn't ask today, but it's an interesting thing to keep in mind. And just curious if you thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is like pretty lightweight. I mean, we were able to, hack this together pretty quick. And I mean, really, like for the most part, it's almost done. We have a few little tweaks that we want to, do before we push it to mainnet. But, really, it's more just designed to be one of those like kind of, public good tools. Like you can have a little contact book that you can access from any web app. But I mean, there's always, like we could always set some kind of fee with, setting the aliases if we wanted to try to monetize it. But honestly, I think we're leaning more that route of, the open source public good.
Open source. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely. I agree with all that.
Good stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your presentation. We're going to be moving on to our last team, which is Crimson 8th. And yeah, so please feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Hi, we're the Crimson Off-A team. We are a marketplace that specializes in creating NFTs for artists who want to focus on their craft. The Crimson Off-A team is Iris, Shiyu, and Brittany. The problems we set out to solve are there are artists who do not have the technical abilities, but still want to sell their NFTs on a marketplace. And there are also artists who don't have the time to learn, but want to participate in this space. The solutions we came up with is to assist artists in creating their NFTs and like a curator. And the value we would like to provide is to assist artists in learning more about the blockchain. So in the future, they can make their own NFTs. The tech we used is Solidity, React, OpenZeppelin, Hardhat, and Ipfs. The sponsors products we used are Protocol Labs, NFT Storage, and Polygon. And I'm going to hand it over to Shiyu.
All right, thanks, Iris. So here is our Crimson Off-A homepage, and we are going to create an NFT. So we're going over here to create NFT. So now let's call it North. I'll set it to 275 Matic, and we'll description of Northern Lights. And let's upload this image as our NFT. So now when I hit create NFT, MetaMask is asking for gas fee for the Polygon Mumbai testnet. And let's see. Give it a second. There we go. Here it is. Here's our interaction with contract. And then we should see that 17 seconds ago, this was the token ID that we created. If we go to NFT storage, here we got our SID. And then if we come over here and plug it in, then we are able to retrieve our metadata. We go over to the gallery, scroll down, and we can see the latest NFT that we just generated. And this is the end of the live demo portion. So now we have some future features that we're thinking about and plan on doing for the future.
Thank you for your time.
That was it.
Great job. Let's move on to our 3 minutes of Q&A. Judges?
Couple of questions. You said you were publishing them as ERC721, right?
Yes.
Okay. And on Polygon. Sorry, Nicola, please, if you have any questions.
Yeah, mostly what's like in the developing phase, what's next, in a sense that I felt that you have a vision and a mission. So this is like a first version for the Acton, what came up of the Acton. But do you plan to have a product and ship a product? What would be your MVP and your alpha, and then like basically a end goal vision? I would like to see how it goes forward.
Yeah, I guess like for us, it's right now, once we get this fine tuned, is one idea is to actually, because I have a friend who produces an art show, so to adopt this to kind of like another project that did that, but more focused on the art shows. So adopt it to artists that travel to art shows and help the art show itself onboard artists, as well as at some point, I would like to include like the live peer streaming, because a lot of these art shows have live music as well, and that maybe cameras set up where they could kind of see where the artist booths are, so they're able to a certain degree interact, and maybe use IPFS chat to interact with the artists at the show, as well as if they can't make it, in person. So that's like the next step, but just basically also educating artists about this space and trying to get them to onboard as an option, because, sometimes they're just too busy creating their art and, or don't have the know-how of how to participate in this space.
Yes. Well, it's very important. We took to, I asked because we took to quite a few that they're bridging this gap in a sense and narrowing this gap of, you should take the burden of the tech in a sense and make it very simple for the artist to enter this new world. So yeah, I wanted to know what was the final vision, and considering all the iterations that your product's gonna have. Okay. Yeah, the product, like from what I heard, it looked like very versatile in a sense. So I didn't know what was direction you firstly wanted to pick. So that was the reason of my question.
Cool, thank you.
What was the most challenging part of the hack?
I think for us was like certain things like getting through some documentations and getting it to work, and getting the NFT storage, I think at times was taking a bit long loading our images. So just to get some confirmation. But yeah, just working through all the, little issues here and there.
Okay. Are you just to chip in? Are you looking up at a platform out there that is actually going in your direction? So what's the landscape? What are you getting inspired by? And something that you would like to be soon, but with better functionality and some of the addition that you are contributing in Crimson Affect?
Well, I mean, I guess in terms of like the marketplace, there's like open season variable, but it was more of like, lazy minting where anybody could do it. And this is more wanting to focus on, like I said, the artists who might not have the tech savvy to do so, and just to educate them. But I guess, just figure out how to adopt it. There's like art shows that artists have an issue complaining because they have to always constantly fill out forms over and over again to participate in these shows. And it would be nice if we have like some sort of like, DID where they load up and connect to their wallet, where they could enter into any kind of these art shows that's like virtual, and just display their artwork, or, create and sell and so forth.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Great job. So that was our last team. So I would just like to thank the judges for taking your time out of your day to do this, as well as all the hackers who participated in this hackathon. Great job, everyone. Everyone did very well. And yeah, so the hackathon is over. Thank you so much.
Sharon, I think on our link, we have one more project listed, which I believe was, okay. I think it's been updated. At least on mine, it says Alexandra M. Salverai.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I think the project name.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be 11.
11. I only
Well,
see.
I do see 11 as well, to be honest. Oh, now I refreshed and I see 10.
Yeah.
So if you refresh Partha, you
Okay.
might find 10. Yeah,
I mean, I have two links open for my link, and now on one it's 11, on another it's 10. Okay, I think that's fine.
yeah, it's actually 10. I did the same. I thought it was 11. Okay, well, it's been a pleasure, Partha. It's been a pleasure,
Same here.
Sharu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye bye.
Thanks everyone.
Bye bye. Have a good.